Growing up, you would have swore I was designed to be a repellent to confidence. I could have swore I was going to end my life years ago, even as a kid. I swear they would have posted my face on the TV talking about she was a good student, she never got in trouble, and she'll be dearly missed. And if I was there, I'd say, yeah, I had decent grades, sure I never got in trouble, but I always felt alone, and I don't want people to remember me like this. See, I want them to hear the truth of the matter of fact, the real reason that from then until years to come, I wanted to give my life an immediate exit. The real reason I wanted to find the courage to down an entire bottle of Excedrin or really any type of medicine, as long as the speeding rush ended in a fatal crash that prevented me from ever getting out of bed again. The real reason I dreamed of pulling a trigger when my mind wouldn't know what hit her until my brain matter was splattered and plastered across a wall right behind me like it came from that Jackson Pollock mister. See, I wanted to be one of those statistics, another blue line, red line, or percentage of people who got their freedom through a box in the ground where they put themselves in it. But in a way, I guess that's not really freedom, is it? Fortunately, I wouldn't know, but I'm not sure that's entirely by choice. I can't tell you how many times I wanted to give into the voice, but squeamish me didn't have it in her to take a blade to the wrist. And I could never figure out the code to the gun safe in my dad's closet to put a bullet in my head. And quite frankly, death scared me a lot more than suffering through the days ever did. But you want to know what the really sad part is? I don't feel like I need to explain what voice I'm talking about, because I know that too many of us are hearing that same voice right now. I understand some people have nothing but good intentions. You see a bright future for someone and of course you want them to grab it. So you tell them to pray for it or keep moving forward, but the hard truth is that means little to nothing to someone who lost all hope they can have it. Like dangling a carrot in front of a rabbit that's got one foot in a snare and seemingly a future in a pot with that very same enticing orange magnet. I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I swear I'm just trying to be honest. I don't want you to be one of those people who says they were hurting and I missed it because I was so focused on trying to remind them their life can have a positive outcome. I couldn't register when they insisted the pain was too much and they couldn't deal with it. Don't listen to the voice, they say. But if it were that easy, then millions of people wouldn't struggle every day with the thought of finding peace and comfort by putting themselves in a grave. So I need for people to understand that when someone opens up to you so completely by admitting raw truths to your face, it's just fine to tell them that it's okay to not be okay. And not with the intention of helping them stay that way, but to acknowledge that bright, dazzling flower we want them to be like doesn't sprout, grow, or bloom without the rain. But for those of you who tried to help someone and you couldn't get through, I'm sorry for your loss. I need you to understand it wasn't then, isn't now, nor will it ever be your fault. You are not to blame. I don't think anyone can register an immeasurable amount of pain, and even if you could, it's even harder to figure out how to take that pain away. But you shouldn't discredit yourself for trying, just like the fine folk worth giving a shot calling at 988. Something people often say is this is the real world, it's not a movie. And things don't happen in the real world like they do on the TV. But I think they forget that in reality, we weren't first inspired by what was put on a screen, it was inspired by us if you want to get into technicalities. How many of us were Michael from The Blind Side, sitting alone at study hall, lunch, and somehow even pep rallies? I was Reese from Malcolm in the Middle during that one episode when he sat next to people he didn't know just so he wouldn't feel unaccompanied. Which one of you was Chris from The Pursuit of Happiness crying right next to your kid because you realized you were losing everything? And the hits just kept coming with no end in sight and you had to keep a budget so tight that even your kids caught on and were hesitant to let you buy them things. Like Christopher staring at them refusing the no more than 75-cent candy bar in the bodega scene. How many times have you been anyone from any type of film where you lost a loved one and it seemed like you'll never get past the grief? And there were days you couldn't get out of bed, laying there telling God you should have took me instead, because if I can't have them in my life anymore, then I don't want anything. But can I just say something? Regardless of your age, regardless of your gender, and regardless of your circumstance, you deserve better than believing you're incompetent and accepting you're irrelevant and letting "I can't do this anymore" be your last statement, or living paycheck to paycheck, feeling stuck in a job you resent, being unable to keep up with the rent, or being abused physically, emotionally, and verbally by the very people who were supposed to protect you from it. Being made to feel shame because you're grown and you still live at home when the truth is your timing's not off from anyone else's, yours is just different. Being unemployed for months on end, feeling unloved even with that ring on your hand, or feeling unwanted because you don't have so much as a friend, having pain be your only reminder that you're not dead. I can do this all day, try me, I'm not done yet. You deserve better than being judged when all you needed was a little encouragement, or wanting to put down the needle or the pills or the alcohol but you're surrounded by people or situations that encourage it. Or thinking that deep, dark secret you've been holding on to for years means you don't deserve forgiveness. Or being surrounded by people on the outside, but on the inside it feels like solitary confinement. You're worthless, hopeless, and think I'm wasting my breath? I'm sorry, but I'm not buying it. You do not belong beneath the pavement. You deserve more than believing you'll always be depressed. You deserve better than believing your only answer is death. But when I say you deserve it, I know some of you are in such a dark place right now, you don't believe a word I just said. You think those words don't ring true to you, but I got news for you, and I'm about to give you some facts that you can't refute. Yes, I'm talking to you. Out of the billions of people on this planet, not one fingerprint matches yours, so you quite literally can't be replaced. Some of you have this look in your eye, daring me to prove you wrong when you say you don't belong. Come find me. I'll say this to your face. Listen closely. You wouldn't be on this earth if you weren't supposed to be. I don't care if you believe in the universe, fate, atheism, Buddhism, or the Holy Ghost Trinity. I don't care if you walk through every day woefully, and if you've given up on yourself saying, woe is me. I don't know you. I won't pretend to, but no matter who you are, I do know one thing. If you're listening to this right now, even your deepest, darkest day couldn't conquer you, because you're still breathing. That is strength, and it's got to count for something. Look, pain doesn't care how rich you are, how poor you are, how old you are, what you've been through, or what you're going through. Its only concern is being hell-bent on destroying you. So yes, you can tell yourself somebody else has it a lot worse, and it might be true, but it doesn't change the fact that everyone can only get past pain one way, to go through. It's important that we acknowledge each other's pain, but I need you to do me one other favor too. Stop comparing your pain, because you deserve peace and healing no matter what's affecting you. And I told you I keep it real, so I gotta be honest. Anyone who swears to you the days get easier will eventually break that promise. You might be wondering, how do I know they'll break a promise when I don't even know them? Because I know humanity, and days are getting to me even as I'm saying this poem. So you'll have it easier one day and the next will seem brutally malicious. Just remember, strength adjusts according to your experiences. And anyone who swears you matter, your situation will change eventually, or you're not alone, isn't lying. It really is a step-by-step, inch-by-inch, millimeter-by-millimeter process. You just have to keep trying. I know it's easier said than done, trust me, I get it. But we already established that you can't be replaced, so your presence in this world does, can, will, and already makes a difference. It's time for your demise of Demur, because anything is possible. And I hope you never forget it.